I think the by-election in Northwest St. Andrew is far more emblematic of the Jamaican situation and probably conveys some of the real values challenge about how we think about ourselves in relation to other people, much more so than I think other people tend to pay attention to. The entrance by Keisha Hale and Nigel Clarke to Black Jamaicans for some interesting challenge. How you see it? Well, there's a part of us that likes the Nigel Clarke type. You know, here is a son of a judge, son of a teacher, who then became children's advocate, good scholar, bright at math. I'm not sure if he succeeded as much, you know, as you would have thought his reputation has, and very, if you might say, British-esque in his persona and so on. What do you think are his kind of strengths or weaknesses, as you see it?
Well, I think Nigel is clearly somebody who is also, you know, has outstanding academic achievement and qualifications. In a sense, he reminds me of the Black Englishman of colonial times, where the sort of who aspired to be sort of black royalty. You know, somebody like Hugh Small's father, Justice Small, was spoken about in those ways. You had somebody like Ludlow Moody, Dr. Ludlow Moody, who was Norman Manley's brother-in-law, very much in that sort of mold, you know, the Esquire type. The Esquire type, you know, great English, British education, and sort of, in a sense, mimicking the values and the affectations of the former colonial masters. So, you know, the sort of classical music, appreciation, etc. Very much, in a sense, culturally contrasting with the, you know, the sort of rural, down-to-earth ethos.
It's remarkable though that it's not just about the kind of Jamaicanness and what it means to be Jamaican that is at issue, but I think also profoundly there is an issue about how is the parliament to be comprised. Is it to be comprised of people who live in the constituency, who represent in a very, you know, real sense the aspirations, who understand the struggle, having lived in that country, is aware of the shortcomings and so on, versus the kind of technocrat type, the, well, you know, if you don't mind, the Bolshevik that so many of us are part of, who well-lettered, who come as experts. And there is a sense in which the suggestion is that the Jamaican people gravitate toward the expert type, and perhaps that's why we are where we are as a people. The real development has not taken place because more and more of the vehicles of the people's empowerment is taken away from them. Perhaps,
undoubtedly, I think we have inherited perhaps a certain elitism in terms of the profile of somebody we look for as a leader. But the truth is, if we consider Parliament and politics as a vehicle through which the various interests and sectors in society are balanced, and you prevent, for example, a capitalist class and the free market excesses from you know, taking advantage of the average consumer, the vulnerable consumer in the market, if you are able to provide some affirmative action for those at the very bottom, if you see politics and parliament playing that role, then at the very least you need a mix of persons, from the technocrats with those who most organically understand the challenges of the average working class person in Jamaica.
Yeah. So I think, you know, the choice on March 12th, is it, or March 5th, is it, represents an important decision about how we want increasingly to define the project, the national project, the project of national development.
Your party needs you now. It's time to step up and get busy and get wicked on them too. But if you think this thing will come easy, you're fooling yourself. Nah, come easy, baby, right? Nah, give up this so easy. And the first thing, the first step in the journey, comrades, is to win back local government in the next election. When we do that, Jamaica, as I said, the table turned. But look, when the little boy Monty, you know, Minister Scandal, no call him. Because everywhere he go, scandal follow him. And he might talk about, yeah man, they love to see me in charge because he knows so we can't win. Yeah man, go and talk them thing there. Go and run up about them way the minister scandal. Because me I go amongst the people, them, and when me talk the people, them know so we're real. And me know them my heart is with them. And at them we come for serve. We don't come here so we scream. We don't come here so we make no money out of politics. We done make my money already. We are big liar in this country, big investment banker. And the whole of them know none but politics. We know business and that. We don't send it already for me and my family. We take that to the back. Take this thing serious. Make some sacrifice so make we come through this time. We have built something together in our people. We have built that thing for the People's National Party, for Jamaica land we love. Make them come support the man in the Thompson Town Division. Make sure they win. Because we want that man to come meet for the whole of Clarendon. We want back Clarendon. Not for you don't really know me, you know. Probably somebody else said me for the first time, I listened for the first time. But I want you to understand who he is. See? Because jungle will represent heart of the PNP. Yeah. I'm proud of them. And them giving us strength. We don't feel that no guy in a parliament can't tell me nothing. I just 14 away in there. But the 40, come and tell them 49 of them. Enough of them now, nothing for say. Enough of them just dead like some empty barrel and big peering knives. We're not afraid of them.